Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, as you guys can see up on the screen. Today I want to talk about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. Once again, this is ticker symbol SOFI. And today was not the best day for SoFi. It was pretty rocky. I mean, we definitely see a decent amount of volatility here, you know, the ups and downs. And it just kind of flattened out at the end of the day. Overall, kind of a boring day. Just overall a bad day, being down 3% for SoFi. After hours down 0.1%. So, I mean, really from like 2 p.m. onwards, like almost nothing happened. Just a very, very flat day. You know, yes, there is some up and down here, but I don't know. Kind of a weird day. And a weird day for the markets overall. You know, Dow Jones 0.58% down, S&P 0.04% down, NASDAQ 0.4% down, Russell almost a full percent down, but a little bit less. We're in a weird time for the markets. You know, we've had a terrible 2022. We had a pretty great last week for a lot of different company stocks and indices. And now this week, no one really knows what's next. No one really knows what's going to happen. You know, are the negatives going to win out? Are some of these positives going to win out? Like, we're in a weird spot for a lot of companies right now. But yeah, we'll be talking about all the latest for SoFi in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Of course, as always, no financial advice is going to be given in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy, not telling you to sell, nothing like that. Just giving some of my thoughts and opinions on some stocks and some news and stuff like that. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, over the past week, SoFi's up 20%. This is what I'm talking about. Last week was very, very good. Last 4 days prior to this one were pretty amazing. And then that's kind of what makes this week so interesting. You know, what's going to happen? Are we going to continue this uptick, or are we going to continue this downtick? You know, because we're still down 38% on the year. And SoFi's not the only company like this. This is most companies, especially growth companies, tech companies, fintech, forward-looking companies. So it's like a pretty pivotal point for a lot of these companies. I mean, still, when you look at the year to date for SoFi, we're still hitting lower highs. You know, like the last high was like, hey, 1158. Now this high is like, hey, 987. So that's not great. We are still overall trending downward just when you look at these graphs. But hey, we could be set to break out. We could be set to fall lower. Nobody knows. But what I did think is interesting is the tides are kind of changing in some ways. There is now, it seems like, more and more positive articles and spins and stuff on SoFi, where it seems like throughout all of 2022 we've gotten downgrades and bad articles and people ripping apart the quarter four earnings and ripping apart their guidance and you know, saying that SoFi sucks and this and that and this and that. And you know, there was some good articles, obviously, and we've covered some of those, but most stuff was negative. But then today, all of a sudden, you know, we have this from Barron's. They say NerdWallet and SoFi CEO bought up stock on the dip. And obviously this isn't like an opinion piece or anything, but hey, this is some good news. You know, people writing articles about this stuff, getting that information out there that, yeah, the SoFi CEO has been buying up the dip, and he's been buying up that dip pretty consistently. We have this from Money Week. This fintech stock is part of the future of money. Financial technology stocks have sold off in the recent months, but companies such as SoFi offer attractive long-term prospects. This is very, very good to see. You know, talking about a lot of stuff. The roller coaster ride that SoFi has been, absolutely. Wide range of services, definitely something they're continuing to build on. SoFi's strong momentum, you know, all these good things. And overall, this is a positive article. I feel like, you know, it presents both sides, but says that, yes, SoFi could potentially offer attractive long-term prospects. And we have this from Yahoo Finance as well. These two challenger bank stocks are well positioned for a new paradigm. And you can see here they're talking about ML, I think it's Money Lion. I've honestly never heard of this. Yes, Money Lion, and then SoFi. And again, they have a nice little write-up here about SoFi, but they're saying that, yes, SoFi is well positioned for a new paradigm, that, hey, SoFi could potentially have a lot of growth and a lot of potential, and not only as a company, but as a stock as well. We're talking about, you know, share price appreciation potentially, and I thought this was cool. And like, when you're on the SoFi thing, like, yeah, a couple articles pop up, and hey, all four of them, there's not a negative one. There's not bad news right now. There's nothing happening, and that's a good sign. That could show that, hey, maybe the bottom is near. Maybe we've hit a bottom. Who knows? Nobody knows, but there's at least that potential, and I think that's pretty exciting, again, especially after the last like 2.5 months that we've had that have been pretty abysmal. Now, getting into the SoFi stock subreddit, this is one of the top posts on the page, which just made me laugh. Super, super weird, super, super funny. They said millions of users after option, so they said that they were watching Stock Goats. This is another YouTuber. I I've seen his videos. I know that his channel exists, but I haven't really watched his videos. I don't know. I just not something I do. I do a lot of my research through Google and articles and Reddit and stuff like that, and Twitter, and just kind of reading news and stuff. I don't necessarily watch videos, but obviously I like making videos. And he says, was watching Stock Goat's video earlier, and he brought up millions being added off of options. Obviously, this is absurd, but will options really have much of an impact on adding members? And I think this is interesting because, yes, obviously, is millions a huge exaggeration or just, wildly inaccurate, potentially? Yeah, I would say so. But I also know that when you're making content, YouTube videos, social media, all that stuff, you gotta, exaggerate a little bit. Now, I don't know if he just really believes that or if he was just, I don't know the context in what he was saying or how he was saying it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, millions of people are not going to join just because they have options, especially right now in the current market. But think 2 years ago, think mid 2020, late 2020, early 2021, a whatever fintech app or financial app offering options was a very, very big selling point. Options absolutely exploded in late 2020, early 2021. This was definitely something people were looking for, and not having it could have maybe lost you millions or gained you millions. Who knows? Obviously, Robinhood, we saw the insane boom they had. Now, it's not all thanks to options, but it was, thanks to a lot of different things that Robinhood was doing. But options were definitely a significant part of that. And I know they talk about in here, somebody said, maybe it'll bring 200. This person said, I thought the same thing and doubt it'll bring millions. They need a serious UI facelift, IMO, and level 2 data. And yes, I think a lot of these things are so important. Yes, bringing in margin was awesome. Options are going to be awesome. Better UI, going to be awesome. Level 2 data, that would be great. Getting all these things. If you're going to claim to be or want to be the AWS of the fintech space and fintech world, you got to have all the offerings. You got to have all the options. You got to have all this stuff. And I don't think it matters necessarily as much right now. Again, the markets are pretty boring. There's not all those speculative retail investors. They're not all the option traders and the margin traders and crypto and everything. It's not popping off as hot right now as it was a year ago at this time. But one day, it will boom again. One day, things will get that crazy again. Now, is it a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a couple months from now? Nobody knows. But when that happens again, you need to be prepared for that. Just like Robinhood was in the right place at the right time, Sofi can position themselves to be in the right place at the right time next time. So hopefully they will be able to get all this figured out. So yes, I do think options does matter a significant amount. Potentially, who knows how big they're going to get next time. But yeah, it's not going to add millions of people. Also, dark mode for iOS is very, very cool to see. Dark mode, just a great feature, easy, good feature just to improve the quality of life and look and feel of your app. So I thought that was cool to see. Also, talking about Amazon, the AWS of finance, this guy says, hey guys, long Sofi here holding 15,000 shares. I know that besides being a bank, Sofi is aiming to be the AWS of finance. I'd like to know if there's really such thing as AWS of finance. Is there such a large total addressable market that could make Sofi the go-to and number one company for AWS services? And then, they kind of get into this whole discussion. I think it's interesting because, yes, you're seeing this term be thrown around a lot, but what does it even mean? Is it even possible? Is it just a buzzword? I think that is kind of an interesting discussion and topic to have, and maybe we'll have that in another video. But I just think, this is something that's coming up a lot. And, obviously it's cool for Sofi to have a goal, and it's cool for them to have, a term behind them that more people know about and can get excited about. But again, I still think we're quite a ways away from that, obviously. Last thing I want to talk about in this video today, interesting nugget. I listened to Chamath's weekly All-In podcast today. In a small aside during the convo, he mentioned that one of his non-SaaS companies just began selling SaaS software. He did not say anything by name, but he went on to say the company just booked $40 million of annual contract value and needed some advice. Pure speculation, but to me it screams Sofi selling Technisys software. 0 to 40 million in a month maybe helps explain all the insider buying outside of Noto just for fun. Yeah, I don't know. Seems kind of interesting. Again, nobody knows if this is for sure, just kind of a rumor or some pretty wild speculation at this point. But hey, yeah, I mean, like this guy says, if there were insiders buying because of some big event prior to a big event, I don't think that'll work out well. But hey, it's not the first time it's ever happened. It's not going to be the last time it's ever going to happen. And again, all these insiders that are buying, the directors, CEO, all these guys, they're buying for a reason. I'm not saying it's insider trading or anything like that, but I'm just saying, they must believe in a bright future and good things yet to come. So, hey, it's something to keep an eye on. I don't know. I didn't see this podcast. I don't know necessarily what they're talking about, but hey, maybe it's something to look into. Maybe it's something to consider because, hey, that could be really, really big. But that is pretty much every video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.